It's not the price of the cameras or gear. It's not the saturation or competition. It's something I never really thought about when I started this. I've been in business for about 12 years, and previously when I worked for employers, I worked a typical 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and when I would go home, you basically just get to clock out. Now, when you're running your own business, having that balance of actually clocking out is very hard to do. And especially when you're getting started, your customer service, you're making invoices, you're doing all these different things. And it's really hard to be like, okay, I'm clocking in right now, and then I'm clocking out right now. You'll have people that will call you at crazy hours, and they're like, oh, where's my pictures? Or I need this to be changed, or blah, blah, blah. And then you get like this crazy exciting email, and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to respond right now. And it's like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. You have to be careful because sometimes you can get absolutely burnt out. This happened to me probably around 2 years ago, and I really needed a change in my life. And so I kind of took a bit of a hiatus, and I still worked. I just wasn't like trying to get new clients, and the work that I was doing, I felt like my heart wasn't completely in it. And so I actually took up mountain biking for about a year and a half, and it was actually really good because it was a bit of a reset for me, because I was extremely burnt out and I wasn't passionate about anything that I was shooting. I just was like work. And basically after 10 years of shooting, my hobby that was like my 100% like number one passion, it just became a job, really. And I was working a bunch, and after like I said, 10 years, I decided I just needed a little bit of a break. So for about a year and a half, I went on a hiatus. I got really into mountain biking, and I'm glad I did it because after about a year and a half, I really tried to progress in the mountain biking thing, and I was still working, but I put a lot of my passion and effort into mountain biking. And towards the end of that, I got into a pretty decent crash, and I swear, my life changes always happen, usually because of some kind of crash. And I'm sensing a pattern in that. So I was doing like a backflip off this big jump, and I came up short. The rotation of the backflip, my front tire grabbed the landing, and so I went over the bars, and I like tweaked my neck pretty hard. I didn't break anything, which was pretty lucky. It was about like a 35-foot jump. And I remember doing that, and I was like, wait a second, I don't really want my family to have to take care of me. I want to take care of my family, and I want to be able to provide for them. And so I kind of got a bit of a reality check and was like, okay, I need to chill out with the mountain biking. And then also at that same time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to chill out, and I am going to be super aggressive for looking for a house to buy. That was kind of like my next goal. It's been my goal for about 5 years, but the market's just been really, really tough. So after that, I just kept on saving money, and I kind of got a bit of a relit passion for my photography in my business. And I just kept on going and accelerating that same momentum that I had to be able to go ahead and restart this whole business thing of photography. So being creative, it's really, really fun, and it's a blast to be able to have that portion of your brain being used for something that you can get paid for. But it's such a balance, because a lot of times if you're using that too much, it can be very exhausting. And the whole work-life balance, it's really tough, because when you're at a 9 to 5, you can clock out and you can be completely done with work, and you could just lay on the couch, whatever, hang out with your family, and you never have work in the back of your head. When you own your own business, you're constantly thinking do I have enough jobs this week? What's too much? Do I accept these jobs, or do I put them on the sidelines, or do I say, oh no, I don't have enough time this week? And so you're not ever fully clocked out, in my opinion. The older I get, and the more time I've had in this business, I have tried to put up a boundary where I do say, you know what, this is my day off, or I try not to accept clients on certain times or days. And yeah, it's just always something that's a struggle because you don't have that set 9 to 5. The other part of it is your customer support as well. So you have to also find a balance between, the customer's always right, but also standing up for yourself and protect yourself for your creative rights as well. And that can sometimes be a challenge when you're like, okay, well, is the customer always right? And it's really tough because especially starting out, yes, the customer is always right. And it's like, yeah, whatever you say, like I can totally do and I can work with you. What's nice is the further into business you are, you can be a little bit more picky and select those types of customers that you want to work with, which is really nice. And yeah, just balancing family time with work time. And if I have like these extremely busy days and I have to edit, that can bleed into family time as well. So all that being said, those are the cons. And it's funny, even while I was recording this video, I got a text about a job that needs to be finished by tomorrow that I have to do after this. So there's a prime example of what it means. So I'm in a sense, I'm like a little bit on call for like shooting real estate, like a scheduled on call. So it's not quite as bad as I have to jump every single time somebody says, hey, I need you right now, blah, blah, blah. So I remember when I was growing my Instagram, I would reach out to people and say, hey, would you share my photo on your big page or whatever? And then towards the end of that, I started trying to chase trends. And I remember that just being very, almost like the opposite of creative. I was just kind of trying to copycat these trends that were currently going on, and it didn't really feel very authentic to me. So those are the cons. The pros, they really outweigh the cons. I absolutely love being my own boss. I can schedule things or like block things out. We've gone on month-long road trips. I typically take December off because it's just so slow during that time of the year. And I have a lot of flexibility and thankfully get paid a good amount hourly versus having to be, at a desk or anything like for hours and hours all day long. So I get to be outside, I get to experience new things, meet new people, and I'm so thankful for all of that. It also helps me be able to have a job where it's not a lot of physical labor as well, and I can see myself doing this exact career late into my age. So even retiring, I don't even see myself really truly retiring. I would love to reach financial freedom before I'm too old. And yeah, it's just something I feel like I'll enjoy for a really long time. And for anybody who's struggling, especially those of you who are starting out in photography, the first year or two are the absolute hardest. I think it's the statistics like 90% of businesses that start fail. And if you can get through the first year or two, you're gonna be solid. That's the hardest because you're making the least amount of money and you have to pay for the expensive gear. But if you can make it after that, you are golden. So keep it up, keep up the grind, and yeah, just work hard so that you can turn your passion into something that you can do for a living. If you're a photographer, what's been the hardest part for you? Let me know down in the comments. Whew, it was a little bit hot. Anyways, I am in a new space. A little bit of an update. We closed on our house this week and wow, we're so excited. We've been here for about 4 nights and we're so stoked. We're just like, holy cow. This has been a complete dream come true for us because we've been looking for 5 years and there just really hasn't been very much on the market that's appealing. I guess I'm really picky because it took 5 years, but I shoot for a bunch of realtors, so I have a really good idea of what I want, and I have a list of things I want in a house, and this house just checked so many boxes. And so, yeah, we bought it. So this is gonna be my new setup. Super stoked. I'm gonna have to figure out the echo because there's a little bit of an echo in here, but yeah, set up the office, set up the space. So this will be a nice, cool place to be able to record and to work as well. So yeah, super stoked on that. But yeah, let me know what you guys want me to cover in future YouTube videos. If you want me to do a Q&A, or if you want me to talk about my favorite type of gear or whatever, a day in the life, more vlog style, or yeah. I'm passionate about a few things. I might possibly make a video about the car I drive, because I'm a little bit a fan of it, and yeah, just kind of random things. Even the house buying experience, that was kind of a trip. I might talk about that a little bit. So just so thankful to be able to create a business that has gotten me to the point where I can buy a house. That's just it's so surreal. And so I'm so thankful for that. So glad you're here. Please like, please subscribe. And yeah, I'm sure YouTube's gonna recommend a video for you to watch over here. See you in the next one. Bye.